Here's the hidden truth about your creative income. 95% of the time, the biggest mistake isn't your art, it's your calendar. Every month you delay an invoice or accept a flexible deadline, you let clients chip away at your worth. This single habit costs the average freelancer over $10,000 by year's end. Stop leaving that money on the table. I'll show you how to turn deadlines from a source of stress into your most powerful negotiation tool. Before we dive in, I want to be crystal clear. I'm a financial educator, not a licensed financial advisor. The ideas we talk about here are for educational purposes, to help you build awareness and ask better questions. This isn't personalized financial advice, so please always consult with a qualified professional for your unique situation. Okay, let's get into it. At the heart of this issue is a conflict that lives inside almost every creative I've ever met. We're taught to build a wall between our creative spirit and our business mind. On one side, there's the studio, a sacred space for passion, inspiration, and pure expression. On the other side, there's the office, a place for invoices, contracts, and spreadsheets. We tell ourselves that the art is what matters, and the money is just a necessary and often uncomfortable byproduct. This separation feels noble, but it's financially crippling. When you believe your art is pure and commerce is dirty, you naturally hesitate to enforce the commercial side of the agreement. You see a deadline not as a contractual obligation tied to a payment, but as the finish line for your creative work. Asking for a deposit feels pushy. Following up on a late invoice feels greedy. We start to believe that being a good artist means being a flexible business person, which clients often translate to cheap and easy to postpone. This mindset makes us apologetic about asking to be paid on time for the value we create. It's a quiet narrative of self-sabotage, and it's costing you dearly. But what if this internal wall we've built is a modern invention? What if the most successful creators throughout history understood a fundamental principle about time and value that we've been taught to forget? That fundamental principle isn't some complex financial algorithm or a secret handshake from business school. It's something much older and more human. It's the law of value exchange. At its core, this law states that for any relationship, business or personal, to be sustainable, the value given must be met with equal or greater value received. This isn't just about money for services. It's about an exchange of trust, expertise, time, and commitment. When you, a photographer, deliver a stunning set of images, you are giving your vision, your skill, and your hours. In return, the client provides payment. That's the most basic layer. But the exchange is deeper than that. The deadline you both agreed upon is a crucial part of the value you provide. You are offering certainty. You are giving the client peace of mind that their project will be completed by a specific date, allowing them to plan their marketing launch, their event, or their next business move. That certainty has immense value. In return, the client's part of the bargain is to provide timely payment, which gives you the financial certainty you need to run your business, pay your bills, and invest in your craft. The deadline is the fulcrum on which this entire exchange balances. When a client delays payment or endlessly pushes a deadline, they are unilaterally devaluing your contribution. They are taking the certainty you provided while withholding the certainty you are owed. This isn't just being flexible. It's a breakdown in the fundamental agreement that makes a professional creative career possible. Honoring this exchange isn't being greedy or rigid. It's a radical act of self-respect and business sustainability. It is the structure that protects your creative energy, ensuring you have the resources and stability to continue producing your best work. Without it, you're not running a business. You're funding a client's project with your own time and money. This might feel a little abstract, I know. It's easy to talk about principles, but harder to see how they apply when you're staring at an overdue invoice. To make this principle tangible, let's use an analogy from a world we all understand. Think of your project agreement as the stretcher bars for a canvas. Nobody would argue that the wooden frame tut ange besage brop tut ast course the painting. The art is the paint, the vision, the brushstrokes, but without that simple, rigid frame holding the canvas taut, the masterpiece you envision is impossible. The frame provides the essential structure, the tension that allows the paint to be applied correctly. It ensures the final piece can be hung on a wall and valued for what it is. Your contract, with its clear deadlines and payment terms, is that frame. It's not the creative work, but it's the structure that makes the creative work possible and valuable in a professional context. When a client misses a payment deadline, they are not just being a little late, they are loosening a corner of your frame. When they push the project timeline without adjusting the terms, they are allowing the canvas to sag. The entire integrity of the work is compromised. The value exchange breaks down. Your art, which relies on this structure for its professional life, begins to lose its form. We would never dream of starting a painting on a limp, unsupported piece of cloth. So why are we so willing to pour our creative energy into projects where the financial framework is just as flimsy? The answer lies in a fundamental shift in how we see ourselves. For too long, many of us have clung to the identity of the artist, someone who is at the mercy of inspiration, and by extension at the mercy of their clients, timelines, and payment schedules. This identity is passive. It asks for permission. It waits to be paid. It hopes the client will do the right thing. To build a truly sustainable career, you must consciously evolve into the creative professional. A professional doesn't just show up to create the art. They architect the entire engagement from start to finish. They understand that their expertise is the core product, and the contract, with its firm deadlines and clear payment terms, is the professional packaging that ensures the product is delivered and valued correctly. This isn't about becoming a sellout or a corporate drone. It's about becoming the fierce protector of your own creative energy. It means recognizing that clear, proactive communication about the business side isn't confrontational. It's the foundation of a healthy, respectful partnership. Ultimately, the shift is this. You stop being a passenger in your own career and become the pilot. You move from passively hoping for respect to actively structuring your projects to command it. This single change in perspective is the difference between a creative hobby and a thriving creative enterprise. So how do we translate this new identity into the tangible actions that will reshape your business? Let's distill everything we've talked about into a simple blueprint. So here is the blueprint in its simplest form. Your deadlines and payment terms are not the enemy of your art. They are the very structure that gives it professional value. Enforcing them isn't about being difficult. It's an act of deep respect for your own craft and the stability of your business. This is the core mindset shift. You stop passively hoping for respect and start actively architecting your projects to command it. You become the protector of your own creative energy. Now I want to hear from you. In the comments below, share the single biggest mental block that has held you back from enforcing a deadline. Let's bring these challenges into the light. And if you're ready to continue building a stronger foundation for your creative work, be sure to subscribe. We'll lay the next brick in the blueprint together.